How's she?
Hi, John. Yes, I'm here.
Fine, good to see you. I hope you
Good to
enjoyed your
see you.
summer.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much.
Fine.
Yes.
Okay, the CEO of Open Data Company. And let's quickly go over it again. Please indicate where you're logging from so we can see who is represented here. I can see Senegal. Let's take a few minutes to do that and welcome you, Cambodia. Thank you very much, Cambodia. I can see Kenya. I know Kenya is swearing in the new president today. Yemen, thank you very much. Cape Town, South Africa. Thank you, Philippines. Thank you, Nigeria. Thank you very much. Zambia, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Somalia, thank you very much. France, Ethiopia, thank you. Ghana, again, Nairobi, thank you very much. Tanzania, Ecuador, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Let's keep the spirit of effective monitoring and evolution happening. Nepal, thank you, Yemen, thank you again. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Maike to do the introduction and tell us what she's presenting today. And the plan is they will do the presentation, and then we'll have a session for question and answers, and then we'll wrap up. And this should take us about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So welcome, and thank you very much, Mike. So please take the mic and tell us what Open Data Company is presenting today. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see such a big group of people from all over the world. So my name is Maaike Blom. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've been working in the development and humanitarian sector for the whole of my career, so at least 20 years. Today, Marianne will be presenting, but I'm just to introduce you, I'm the CEO of the Open Data Company and also for Data for Development. We started the Open Data Company as an initiative to promote the use of data for the development sector. And for that purpose, we've developed a specific platform where this data can be found that we would like to show to you and share with you. Of course, there's probably going to be a lot of questions, and I'm also here to answer some of them, but Marianne is going to take you through, since she's the one who works mostly directly with the partners using the platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maaike. Thank you, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Marianne Alam, and I'm working, I'm a colleague of Maaike, senior advisor at the Open Data Company. And as Maaike mentioned, I'm working together with different partners, with different non-profit organizations in trying to increase the use of open data. And I'm going to guide you through the whole process of it. I'm going to start now. Please put your question in the chat or raise your hand. The more interactive the session is, the better it is for everyone. And just as a note, I will be doing 2 tests, just two quizzes, just to know you a bit better. And for this, I would need your phone next to you, but I will mention it when the time comes. So let's start. So as I mentioned, and Maaike did as well, we are going to go through what the open data is about and why bother using it, what are the advantages of using it. And we're going to talk about a more specific open data standard, which is called IATI. I will also explain this a bit further. The Open Data Company has developed this platform called AIDA, which is a platform that makes uses of your data. So I'm going to show you around how it works, who can use it, how to explore it, and how to become a more data-driven organization. Of course, and questions are welcome at any moment. But at the end of the session, we will have a Q&A session. So that's the moment where you take your phone, please, just to get to know each other a bit better. If you could take your phone and go to www.menti.com and enter the code here. I'm just going to switch the screen so you can follow me here. So this is the code to enter, www.menti.com, and the code is 7203989. Okay, I can see people joining. You can put a thumbs up to say that you're here. Just 30 seconds, and then I will start. So the code is 7203989. 10 more seconds.
We have 3 people with a raised hand in the chat. Can you also see the chat, Marianne?
Yes, but it's a bit, the chat. Yeah, but I only see hello from everywhere in the world.
No, I mean, I don't know if these people want to ask a question or they're just saying hello.
You can also enter your question in the chat. So let's start with the get to know each other. So you can just follow it on your phone and the question will appear. So what is your function within your organization? So please type here the answer, whether you are a fundraiser, a program officer, M&E. Okay, answers are coming in. It's happening quite fast. We have, well, a lot of diverse position within the non-profit sector. Program manager comes a lot, data analyst, monitoring and evaluation. Are there any fundraiser by any chance? Education officer, consultant. Program manager. That's okay, great. Nice to meet you all. We have quite a diverse audience today, but all connected to the same sector. That's great, thank you. Let's go to the next question. So now, how familiar are you with open data? Hopefully at the end of the session, you will all say that you are an expert. But let's see first from where we start. We have one expert so far. The majority says that they have heard of it, but did not use it yet. Also, some people that do not know what the open data is about. Hopefully this will change. Okay, that's great, thank you. And let's move to the Next question. And last. Oops, sorry. It shouldn't be happening. Let me check. Okay, normally you should type your answer. So the question is, what is the use of open data in your organization? Trying to present it now again. No, it doesn't want. Okay, well, that was a glitch. Sorry for this. Maybe you can type in the chat. What is the use of open data in your organization? Sorry for this. If you are using it for a specific type of work, to do reporting, for instance, to monitor projects better, for your donor requirements, for instance. So some people are saying research purposes, data analysis, decision-making, data collection, monitoring program performance, that's great. Health project reports, learning. What is open data, Vincent? We will answer this question. Baseline report. So most of the people seem to use data for their reporting or analysis purposes. That's great. Thank you very much. I'm going back to the presentation now. So as we saw in the question, a lot of people do not know what open data is about, and we will try to demystify it. So as you know, this is more for the context to set it, to set the proper context. So you know that we are living in a world that is, we are using more and more data, we are digitalizing more and more what we are doing on a daily basis. And it also happens in your work. So a lot of organizations cannot do without digital means anymore for internal purposes, but also external management with other stakeholders. And lately, we had a lot of different open data sources, so places where that gathers a lot of different data from different organizations and gathers it in for different purposes. I'm going to mention to you some examples of open data sources that you can access, that is publicly available for you to research on, for you to understand what is going on where, and to help you, to inform you also of what could be the potential impact on your work. So indeed, open data is maybe new to some of you, but why bother then use open data and not stay in the old, or let's say previous era of working in the nonprofit sector? So we're going to discuss several points here. As I was mentioning just before, one of the biggest and important point is to increase the impact of your work in the nonprofit sector. We're going to see how the impact can be increased in this presentation. But basically, since you are, so in open data, you have the word open, meaning that you are offering more and more information to the world, to other organizations, to other stakeholders. They can understand better what you are doing, but also what do you need, or where do we need what, for instance. And in this way, the information can be harmonized, collected and harmonized, and used to increase the impact of the different organizations. By doing so, of course, you are increasing the coordination between the different stakeholders, because since you're offering and putting online open data, open aid data, different stakeholders can better coordinate and be more efficient in, for instance, let's say that the sector of water is lacking funding because of what I see in the open data on the open data portals. So maybe a donor will have a policy targeted for water supply, for instance, for the 10 coming years, for instance. Open data obviously works if it can be aggregated, harmonized, if we are all speaking the same language. Otherwise, for instance, I'm going to give you a simple example. If we are all speaking in our own language, we are not able to understand each other and the analysis will be biased. So there is a standard, there are different standards, and for this session, we will focus more on one specific standard, which is called IATI, the International Aid Transparency Initiative. You will hear a lot IATI in this presentation, where basically organizations are using this standard, this language, to produce open aid data. Doing so, for your donor, you are becoming compliant because you are showing them what you are doing and how you are doing it using this language that can be aggregated for all the organization, and then we can have better analysis. And of course, one of the consequent points is to increase the transparency and accountability of the nonprofit sector. Of course, you might have heard it around you or within your organization as well, or government, that sometimes we do not know how much money is spending or why a project is taking that much time. By having an open aid data policy, you will be able to inform on what you're doing and be more transparent because information is publicly available. So the main point of open data and for nonprofit organization for you is to reach more and more impact with what you are doing. And there was just this study that I found in 2019 that reported that 90% of nonprofit gathered data, so which is a lot of organizations doing so, but only 5% of them use it on a daily decision making, which is still quite few. It is slowly increasing, but we are doing also this session to raise awareness around open data and also trigger you towards using it more and more. Again, the importance of effective data analysis and management. Why is it important then to use open data? I'm going also to mention 4 points, a bit as a summary of what we saw before. Increase effectiveness. Indeed, since more data is available, you are maybe more aware of what is happening in your country or a neighboring country or a country that you wanted to target for your program. By seeing who is the main actor, who are the main actors in that country, you are able to understand maybe who to reach out to. So the program design, how you implement the project will be different and based on data. So you can make more data-driven decision. We mentioned this point already previously, the coordination. So you have different type of level at micro and macro level, finding new partners around you that can help you with the implementation of the project, but also at macro level, more donors for fundraiser. This is a really good opportunity because you know which donor is active in which sector, in which country, for what type of project. So it's the information are more available for you. For instance, to apply for a fundraising, to send a fundraising application. Efficiency, before you maybe had to look back at your book or something that you had to write with your hand. Now, since everything is digitalized, well, it's way easier. I'm sure that you're all using spreadsheets, for instance. So there was, I don't know if you were maybe already working in the nonprofit sector at that time, but before, for doing a survey, for instance, it was doing with a pen and paper. Now we are using Excel or other tools. Well, it's the same kind of thing now with open data. So we are shifting towards using more and more digitalized tools in order to facilitate the work for nonprofit organizations. And of course, another big point, you mentioned it in the chat, but also during the quiz, learning, having available information is a great way to have new insights about what others are doing, what funding and agencies, improving program sustainabilities, integrating with other programs. So it's part of a learning process as well. Now I'm going to show you some of the open data portals. So now we have seen why open data is so important, what are the advantages of and the importance of data analysis and the management, how it could help you on your daily basis. And you might ask me, okay, but where can I find this data? So I'm going to show you now three portals, to mention three portals, and then we will delve deeper into the platform that we have created, the Open Data Company. So I wanted to start with the general open data portal, which is the Humanitarian Data Exchange. Just in brackets, this presentation will be shared with you. So you will be able to click on the links and yeah, go over the material again. And this presentation is also recorded. So I believe, John, it will be also available on social media for reviewing. So this open data portal is a more general one, where basically it makes humanitarian data easy to find and use for analysis. I have put an example. For instance, I went on the portal, I've typed some keywords, was for the Syrian monitoring camps monitoring study. And for instance, I could see what I could find regarding this topic. And I had different, we call it data sets. So the kind of book, virtual book, if you want, where you have gathered a lot of data. And for instance, for this project, it was telling me, okay, where was it done? How many people were reached? I had some report and analysis on the platform. So for instance, if one of you is having a project ongoing in Syria for this topic, you could go on this, for instance, platform and search for it. Another platform is one developed by the UK government. This platform enables you to find the project that have been funded by the UK government, so FCDO, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. So whatever projects are funded by FCDO are also gathered on this platform. Of course, the government is also providing their own data. So they are showing which organization they are funding, but also the organization itself is providing this data set. So this virtual book with data, and saying, I have received funding from FCDO, and this is what I'm working on. Sorry. Another similar example is the USAID platform, US Foreign Aid Explorer. So this works also in the same way as I mentioned previously. So you have also USAID funded projects. For instance, you have a filter by sector, a filter by different managing agencies, and you can see in which country they are working on. If you select, for instance, health, and then the US Agency for International Development, and then you could see what is happening where and click for more details, see different type of analysis. Do we have any questions? Somebody who wants to ask something? Herbert Ngamije, sorry, if I'm not pronouncing it properly. Maybe you can unmute. No, no question. Okay. I'm checking the chat in case something is there. Who owns the data of this platform? That's a good question. So depending on who is offering it, for instance, here the USAID will be the US government gathering all the data related to their funded project. For the UK one, is also the same. It would be the UK government. For instance, for ours, I mentioned, remember the standard, the language, IATI, the International Aid Transparency Initiative. So basically everyone has to publish according to that standard, and it will be available online. So all the people using this language to explain what they are doing are publishing it according to the standard, and then it goes on a platform. So we gather all the data from this language.
Just to chip in here,
Yeah.
so the idea behind open data means that the data is available for anyone to use. So as soon as it is published, in this case, according to a certain standard, it's out there for anybody to use. But of course, the owner, the person who published the data will remain the owner of it. So in that sense, because I see some questions in the chat, what is open data? Where do we use it? All these portals provide you with insights on related to development projects, and they can be used by anyone, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So for instance, the Humanitarian Data Exchange focuses a bit more on projects related to crisis management. The UK Development Tracker focuses on FCDO funded projects. So if, for instance, I don't know, you are an organization, you're receiving funding from FCDO, and you will be requested, we will see it later on, but you will be requested to publish and to provide data according to a standard, according to a language. And then once you have provided this data, it will go on this platform. If on the contrary, you are funded by the US government, a US agency, it will go on this platform. And as Micah mentioned, the organization is responsible for what they are publishing. So if you are saying that you have received 1 million euros for this project, but in reality you have received 10,000, well, you are responsible. You know what you have received that funding for this project. You are the one entering the information. Okay, so I've been talking about the standard, about the language, about IATI. This is, we will continue diving into this. So the International Aid Transparency Initiative, IATI, is an open data standard for aid. So it's a way of mentioning, indicating, precising what you are doing where. Just as a little bit of context, there are over 1,400 publishers from all around the world. Publisher, what does it mean? It means organizations that are using this language to provide information about their project in the aid sector. IATI is a central mean to report, for instance, on SDGs, on humanitarian activities, for instance, what is happening in Ukraine. We will see on our platform that you can see directly that a lot of things has happened in Ukraine just by looking at the tool, at the platform. And so since it is a language, since IATI is a way to aggregate data, so it's a way to give, it's a language that enables all organizations, if they publish in the same way, you are able to analyze, you are able to aggregate, you are able to monitor performance, you're able to coordinate the effort together. It's a key data source to map aid activity. Remember, I showed you the UK portal and the US portal. So for instance, this standard, the IATI standard, the IATI language is used as a standard on those platforms. So all organizations publishing data, open data according to this language will appear on those platforms. So the IATI standard, the IATI language. So many organizations addressing different type of projects. You have received some fundings for your project, and some governments now, as the UK government, as the Belgium government, Belgium, in the Netherlands, and in Northern Europe, for instance, is requesting the organization that are receiving funding from them to publish, to provide data according to that language. Don't be afraid when I'm saying language, it's easy to understand. The language is mostly used to aggregate in an easy way the data. Another example, for instance, you are having a project in Nigeria, but people can write it in different ways, different languages, maybe just NG, for instance. And IATI, the standard, gives you the code to write that word properly. So then if I filter on countries and select Nigeria, I will be able to see all organizations working in Nigeria. So the standard, it's more a way, a type of, again, language to enable everyone to speak in the same way, to talk in the same way, to report in the same way. So this is called the IATI standard. And since it's once you have reported all your data, it becomes publicly available. And this is why we call it then open data, because anyone can access the data on the type of project you have been reporting on. Now, about the AIDA platform. So we have seen a bit what is the open data, what are the advantages of using open data, where do we visualize it, and then I mentioned a bit more about the standard, the type of language that is using. And AIDA is a platform, again, that the open data company has developed. For what? We wanted to contribute to what is already what has already started since already for 10 years now, to increase the transparency of the nonprofit sector. So the vision is to create a more transparent world where we empower the use of data and to enable organizations to make more data-driven decisions. How we are doing this? We have developed this platform where we make this data even more available and more accessible. So we are unlocking this full potential on this platform, on the AIDA platform, in order to drive changes and enable this the interaction between different stakeholders, making more data-driven decision-making possible. So we want to empower those organizations in using more and more data. What is AIDA? So AIDA stands for the Aid Information Development Analytics. AIDA is simpler for everyone. This is why we call it always AIDA. And you have, I will show it to you in a bit now, but it's a visualization tool. Imagine it as a map that is pulling all the available data, IATI data, and now you can visualize more than 1 million activities, 1 million projects on that platform that are, as I was mentioning before, published by more than 1,400 development agencies worldwide. So again, we have seen the IATI language. So a lot of organizations, those 1,400 plus development agencies, are publishing data using this language, using this AIDA language. And what AIDA does, we are pulling all this data, this available data, and we are visualizing it on the platform, on our platform. Again, the aim is to unlock and to make it more accessible for anyone to use. So to unlock the whole potential of this IATI data, of this language. So we have this requirement by some governments. If you're receiving, again, funding from the Dutch ministry, from UK, Belgium, Danish, Swedish, they are requesting organizations to publish according to this standard, to the IATI standard. And AIDA pulls it from the IATI data store, so from this cloud, let's say, and making nice visualization that I will just show you in a bit. You don't need to have any IATI skills to visualize it. You can easily filter, visualize what you want to see, have some analysis as well. and see basically, I don't know if you have a specific donor that you want to look at, if you want to look into a specific sector, country, or another stakeholder, this will be possible on AIDA. AIDA, as I said before, was first developed as a platform to visualize the data. But then we extend the services of AIDA, not just to visualize it, but also to enable, to offer the possibility to organization to publish according to the standard. So as I said, it's a language. So we are offering the possibility to organization to understand what the language is about, how to publish in IATI, how to make your report compliant to your donors. So on AIDA now you can publish in IATI. We are here to support you on this. And we can also validate what you are publishing. For instance, if you're using a wrong code, that is really important in the IATI standard, on AIDA, the validation step will spot the error and will tell you to change it. So now on AIDA, additionally to visualizing, you can also publish according to the standard and validate it. So now your donor reports are compliant according to what they are asking. Another fun moment. Phone. Please take your phone again. I'm going to switch to the other one. So while it is charging, you can take your phone, go again to www.menti.com and enter the following code: 6450291. And you can put a thumbs up when you're here. Okay, 20 more seconds for people to join. If you don't manage also to join menti.com, you can also write it on the chat. Okay, let's start now. Okay, so last time I have asked you if in your organization you're using the data, and well, maybe now it's a bit more specific for the ones using open data. So for what type of processes do you use data for? Where would you need to make more data-driven decisions? So we have a lot of, the majority for project performance. Then we have results. And then we have other. Could the people that answered other write it in the chat what other means for them? So this is mostly for project performance. Okay, thank you. Okay, next question. Again, for the people using open data, how often do you use your data when making a decision? Sometimes is collects the majority of the answers. Then most of the time, okay, we are between most of the time and sometimes. Only 1% said never. That's great. 2. Okay, thank you. And last question, what type of information would you be interested looking at? So this is an open answer. It is more what, in terms of your job title, what you are asked to do, what would you like to be able to visualize? What would you be interested in looking at? Is it more, I don't know, a comparison of charts, okay, financial data, health information. For instance, also for fundraising application, having a better idea of what is going on, where the donors are active. So the maps, donor implementer, funding opportunities. Yes. Results, outcomes. Okay, so we have more data, more answers about performance of a project. That's great because we're going to see this just after. Okay, I think we have a nice idea. We have also funding opportunities. That's great. Thank you, everyone. That was the last question. I'm going back to the presentation now. So you can put your phone aside for now. Slideshow. Okay, now, so we have seen what the AIDA platform does. So you can visualize it, but you can also use it to publish your data according to the IATI standard, the IATI language. And now maybe you're asking yourself, okay, am I a person that could use AIDA? Well, I'm going to show you how, according also to the different type of role that you have within your organization. We have a YouTube channel. Maybe Michael, you can put it in the chat. The link to our channel where we post a lot about how to use the AIDA platform. If you're, I don't know, interested into a specific country, we are telling you how to get the data that you want. We are also mentioning how the publication services works. So we have access to this. You have access to this YouTube channel where we post regularly new tutorials. For whom? So the AIDA portal is a available for everyone first, that is curious to look at what is happening in the development sector. Now we have focused on three main actors within an organization. So we have the program manager. I know that we have some of you here, fundraiser, and the PML officer, or also finance officer, that works also perfectly. So I'm going to focus on the different type of people, and also I'm going to show you on the platform itself how it works, basically. So, well, for program manager, we have identified different type of information that this kind of role could look for. Please put in the chat in case you're looking for something else. We could also dive into this. But basically, they're looking at countries where similar programs are happening, activities, projects that are implemented in specific countries, and the different stakeholders active in a specific sector or country, to see who is funding, but who is receiving as well. In the presentation, I'm just going to show you this. In the presentation, we've done some screenshots, or also to guide you how to go to answer all of this question. So how to look for a sector, how to look for a country, how to look for the different activities, the actors. And I'm going to do this live with you. So now I am on AIDA. So let me present you AIDA. So the URL is AIDA.tool app. Here you can go. And basically, when you arrive here, you have an interactive map. So you can see here, when I hover above a country, there is a country box on the left side that changes. I have also different filters here and more filter option as well. I have an indication of the global outgoing commitment. And I have the possibility to have the map or a table visualization. I have a menu here also on the right, showing you the different access to, for instance, the data management is where we publish and we validate the data. The Knowledge Hub, if you have any questions related to how the platform works, for instance, the frequently asked question, and then you can sign in to have access to more features also on AIDA. You have a free access on the visualization part, and you have also a paid plan, which is more related to publishing and validating, and gives you also more possibilities for the visualization part. But this one, the one that I'm about to show you, is free. So please go on the platform and start exploring. Okay, so enough talking, and let's explore. I'm first going to select a period. So let's say the 20th, yeah, till 1st of September, apply. And now I can see, so the global outgoing commitment from 2000 to 2022. And I can see basically what has happened and what is, the darker the color is, the bigger the commitment, the higher the amount of commitment is. I'm just zooming out so you can see, for instance, a bit better. Okay, so if, for instance, I select India, I click on it. I have the zoom bar that is a bit bothering me. When I click on India, then I'm locking the country and I can access the activities. So if, for instance, I select India, so you can see the country selected is India. I'm still between 2000 and 2022. I have the outgoing commitment of this amount. And I can see here a summary of what is happening in India in this period. So I have more than 12,000 activities, 63 donors, 69 publishers. So you remember publishers are the one using the IATI language. So those are the publishers. Almost 500 sectors for India in this period. And I have a total of more than 800 organizations mentioned for all this type of activities. I'm just going to narrow it down to projects that are still in the implementation stages. So I'm just going to select that project that are still active. Okay, so now I can see that I have, of course, less activities, less donors, less publisher, etc. If I look into the donors, so for instance, for a program manager, you can see here already the list of active projects in that country. You can, of course, narrow it down. You can select a specific sector, for instance, but I'm just showing you the overview now. Now the donors, I have, remember, a table view or a visualization view. I'm going to select the visualization view and zooming in a bit now. You have here on the side the list of all the donors active, which is easier maybe to look at, to have a glance. And then you have here in the box the size of the donor means that their outgoing commitment is really important. So we can see that in India for this period, the biggest donor was the Japan International Cooperation Agency. Then we have Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, UK, and others that you can see on the side. Now for the publishers, I'm just glancing through this for you to see what we see. They are ordered by type. So you have multilateral, international NGOs, government, foundation. And when you click on one, so for instance, I'm interested to see which governments are involved in India, I can click on it and then I see which government are more active in this country, for instance. And again, you have the details on the side. I'm going back. The sectors. Okay. For the sectors, still on the left, you have an overview of the sectors that are funded for India. And then when you hover above, you can see specifically what it means and the total commitment for this period in India. And when you go a bit higher in these layers, you can specifically on which type of, on which sub-level, sub-sector they are focusing on. So you have basic drinking water supply, sanitation, and others, water resources conservation, etc. So you have this, this is valid for all the layers. We can see here that what has been, well, in majority funded in India for this period is the economic sector, and then you have transport and storage, national road construction, road transport, etc. Okay. If I'm going now to, I'm going back to the presentation, and I will focus on the fundraiser. I think there are some of you that are fundraiser here. So fundraiser, again, same principle. We have identified some of the points, what they could be looking for, but feel free to say in the comments if you're a fundraiser and you're looking for something specific, please do so. So what a fundraiser, sorry, is looking for. So donors already funding.
Marianne, sorry.
Yes.
There's quite a few questions popping up now in the chat.
Okay.
Maybe it would be nice to answer a few of them.
Yeah.
So the first one, Sanari Kind. Can we use this AIDA tool to manage the data within our organization?
So, sorry, could you repeat? Can we use the data?
Can we use this AIDA tool to manage the data within our organization?
Sure. That's one of the purpose of it. So first, you could have access to the map that I'm showing and look for the different information, for instance, for the donor, for the country specifically, see what is happening around the world according to your own type of project. And then similarly, well, as I said, you know, we have a part that publishes as well, according to the IATI standard, IATI language. And if you become a publisher, we also can assist you in becoming a publisher. So start publishing according to the IATI standard. Your data will also be available on this platform, and you can make even more analysis according to your specific organization, according to the specific project, and have, for instance, a portal just for you, a custom plug portal, let's say, where you could visualize what you want to do, invite different stakeholders to look also at what you're doing, can be used for reporting as well. So there is a lot of things that can be done. You are also welcome to try the platform, the paid also version for free for 1 month. If you want to discover it, we can talk more about it, but you can definitely use, your organization can also use this platform in different ways, visualizing, publishing, reporting. I'm checking, anyone can access this platform. Yes.
Yeah, another one that was asked a bit before, and it was also previously. So people are worried about data protection and if this data is given with consent. So let me answer that one. If your organization publishes an open data set according to this open data standard, the organization in question is doing this with the awareness that the information is going to be public. So it's not, in that sense, there's no need to ask consent because the organizations voluntarily publish themselves and are aware that they are publishing information that will, after publication, be accessible for anybody. So in that sense, it's a bit different than collecting data from individuals or persons or sensitive information. the information people put up on IATI and which appears on the AIDA platform is public data, which is the same as open data, meaning, again, accessible to anybody. So in that sense, there's no data protection involved. It's just something you have to think about before you start publishing, that you clean your data so no sensitive information goes public.
Yeah, thank you, Maaike. Indeed, if just going to add, in case you want to, in case you have the requirement also to be part of this initiative, the IATI initiative, and publish according to the standard, we have also some ways to anonymize the data where it's needed. So don't worry in case you are working with a specific topic that can be sensitive. We have also different means to still publish, but hide some of the information, sensitive information. Okay, can the AIDA platform used in organization? Yes, this is definitely one of the purpose of the AIDA platform. Just as a general note, because I'm seeing it in the chat, in case you are well interested to learn more about everything possible, I'm leaving in the chat the info@aida.tools email. So we can have, if you prefer, a 101 session where we explain you what are the possibilities with AIDA for your organization and your needs. You can report on Helen. Yes, sorry, Maaike, you answered that question.
Yeah, I'm trying to answer some of the questions in the meantime, but the one on the consent was reoccurring, so I thought it would be interesting to do it as a group. Exactly. So please continue with the presentation, I suppose. And then, you can, when you receive the presentation, there's also contact details in the presentation itself.
Exactly. Yes.
We can take the questions towards the end of the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so I come back to now my fundraiser person. Again, so what a fundraiser could look for: donors already funding the same type of project, the same sectors that they're receiving funding from, and the countries where the donors is active. Again, similarly, we have here some screenshot explaining you. So when you go back to the presentation after we send it to you, you can follow the steps, basically. And if I go now to AIDA again, so this is a bit similar to what we have done, but let me maybe, so I am still in India. I am still for the period 2022. I go to the donor and let's select maybe a specific donor. So I want to select the Japan International Cooperation Agency. And now I can see what has been, how the Japan International Cooperation Agency has been doing in terms of outgoing commitment, what is planned as well in the future, obviously, and the type of activities. You have a visualization format, but also the table. You could see we are still in India. You could see what type of project they are funding. We will dive deeper into the project just after. This is still a bit high, an overview, but you could see that the Japan International Cooperation Agency is active in India for a lot of projects. even starting in 2020 and finishing in, well, 2032, 2033, etc. And the specific sectors related to this donor in India is economic sector, so they're funding a lot within this sector. And then we have water supply, productive sector, other aid, multi-sector, health. So again, this, why again we are able to visualize this data is because more and more stakeholders, publishers, are putting this online according to the IATI standard. So this is the beauty of it in a way, because then we are able, since we are aggregating the information and gathering it according to the same language, we are able to see this type of information, seeing that the Agency of Japan is financing this sector in India. So imagine your organization is active in India, you know that Japan would be a good donor for your transport and storage project, for instance. Okay, I'm going back to the presentation and I'm going to my last identified person, but again, we have a lot of different roles can use the platform. You have the monitoring officer or financial officer. What they're looking at is more on the project level, the performance. Some people were asking, are we reporting on poor performance, on only good performance? The IATI standard is not about lying, it's about transparency. So you are publishing, you are reporting what your project is about, the real performance, the bad and the good, and the reason why you have maybe underachieved or overachieved for some cases. We have also information about the financial flow overview, result reporting. So again, similarly, if you are a PML and you're looking for something else, please let us know in the chat. I've put some screenshots here as well, so you can go back to it and view it. We're going to see a bit more the financial, how it works, how the flow of funding is going from the donor to the end beneficiary, the performance as well. So I'm going to the platform. Let's start over again. And I'm resetting the filters by clicking on the little round here. And I'm going to select an organization that is publishing. So let's take AIDS funds, for instance. Okay, so I have selected now an organization that is publishing in IATI, so using this language. And they are reporting their data using this standard. And this is what we can see. So what is grayed is not, they're not working in this region. What is in blue is where they are working. So you can see Nigeria, some countries in South Africa, and in Asia. There is also Serbia, Netherlands. Okay, I'm going to, I don't know, take Zimbabwe. So again, I click on it and let me move the zoom row. Okay, see activities. Okay, great. So I can see now I am in Zimbabwe. I am, the publisher is AIDS Funds, so an organization in the Netherlands. And I'm checking the activities. So I can see that they have 14 activities going on I can select again implementation one, so only the active ones, and I can see that there are 9 ongoing. If I click on a specific activity, let's say the Love Alliance program and coordination, I arrive to, so I am within the project now, and I have different information. I have the basic project information, location information, who is involved, who are the stakeholders. So for instance, I have a description of what the project is about, the objectives, target groups, when did it start, when is it supposed to end, and also the information in case we want to contact them for more information, for instance. So this is also good because with IATI, you can easily find out also the contact information if you want to know more. Let's see if they have put some location information. They have. So for this activity, they're active, well, in Zimbabwe. We have selected Zimbabwe, but also in different countries. And you can see also the percentage here of the budget that is allocated to a specific country. Okay, the participating organization, quite some people. We have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Netherlands, who is the funding, sorry. Then we have AIDS Funds, the organization publishing, and then all the implementing partners. You can also click on them since they are also publishing. They are also publishers. Okay. I'm looking now at the financial. Let's see. So I just switch from description to financial. I can see here, I have moving here. Okay. I can see that the sector are government and civil society, and also population policies and reproductive health, the sector. We can see some information about the budget depletion, so how they are doing, and they have not reported on this for now, for instance. So this is to show you that we are not, AIDA does not change anything, we're just visualizing what the organization is doing. Let's see the budget flow. Well, we don't have information here, and transaction, no information. I will maybe try to find another. Let me just check. Okay. Oops. I can go back. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's check the Love Alliance Zimbabwe. So this is the same publisher, AIDS Funds. Let's see if there is more information about the performance. No. This is a bit the live demo situation. Let me just try to find something else. So this example shows you that the organization is the owner of their data. So they choose what they want to show. I'm just annoyed by the Zoom. Okay, let me take, well, I had an example here. Sorry for this. Okay, hands off too. Okay, you can also, maybe another cool feature is that you can search, use the toolbar to search for a specific activity, for instance, or something that you specific country or organization, etc., etc. So you can access it faster. No change on this level neither. Okay, let me try one more time and then I can show you the example as well that I have on my presentation. No. Okay, that's unfortunate. I have more information here for the transaction. So for instance, here I can see that this publisher, I'm still with AIDS Funds, they have dispersed, they have sent funding over the year 2021 of different amounts as well. And when I click, I can know more to whom they have sent it to. But let me take my presentation again so you could see what I wanted to show you. Okay, so okay, so I am on the financial page and I can see the different sector, the budget depletion, how much they have been receiving, how much they have already spent and sent to partners. Then when I click on the budget flow, I have here information about who is the donor when I hover above each boxes. So I have the donor who is publishing and to whom they're sending funding to. So in this case, the AIDS Fund is publishing and they're sending funding to an organization called Inerella Plus. Here I can see, as I was showing you before, follow in terms of transaction types, what they have been doing, if they had been sending to partners, if they had received funding from donor, if they have spent a lot on staff cost or direct cost, etc. And for the performance overview, so a lot of questions from, we have a lot of M&E officers here. You have a performance overview regarding what is happening in this project. So you have output, outcome, impact, different type of results, and you have information. So what is the target? What is, so the target for the year here, in this case, the period 2020, it's an annual target. They want to reach 2. The indicator title is also specified, and we can see what they have actually reached. So they are at 50% of the achievement for this indicator. Yes, this is, you can do a lot more. And I just want also to show you something else, which is our last development, let's say. We are constantly improving the platform as well, because well, we are using it more and more users are using it as well. So we get sometimes requests that we are happy to implement. But our last update is about the bookmarking. And the bookmarking enables you to search as I was doing before. So now, well, I have a sector that is selected, which is the water and supply, sanitation. I am still in India. And let's say that I want to bookmark this page, or let's use another filter on the implementation stages project. Okay, 37. And I want to bookmark this page so I don't have to search every time for it if I am interested in this specific sector, country, etc. And I can just click here and it will bookmark the page. So you can see bookmark added. And on the menu, you can see here, bookmark. And when I click on it, I can see the different bookmarks. I have 3 now. I have the one in India that I just added, Indian activity, the sector, and the activity status. So the implementation, the sector of water in India. So this is our last update that is really helpful for users now to even go faster with their research and analysis. Thank you for your attention. I am done with the presentation and we can move to a Q&A session.
Thank you very much, Marianne. That was a wonderful presentation. Very much hands-on. I think you're a great teacher. So let's take questions. If you have questions, please raise your hand, and we'll give you a chance to ask questions so that you get clarifications. And if you're interested in the software, I'm sure Marianne will tell you in details. Thank you. Let's take the questions now. I think you can remove the presentation.
Yes.
So that then I can see whose hand has been raised.
Yes.
Thank you. Questions? Anybody with questions? Please raise your hand. Yes, Mike, please.
Yeah, there were some questions in the chat. Sorry, I'll put my camera on again. So if it might be interesting to review some of them. I try to answer them, but some of them are more widely interesting. So there were questions on the reliability of the data. How reliable is this data? Marianne, could you answer, talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So as we mentioned in the presentation, the responsible for the data is the organization publishing them. So you are responsible for the amounts that you're doing, the type of data, how detailed you want it to be, how, if you want to use everything or you have sensitive data. So this is really your responsibility. So this is one factor for the reliability. The other factor is, for instance, as I was mentioning on the platform, we have the validation part. So if you want to become a publisher, we have also this feature that validates your data, which makes it even more compliant to the standard, to the language, to your donor, what your donor is expecting. So by using our platform, you have this validation step that enables you to have more reliable data that you're putting on the platform. And then what is on you then is, for instance, the amounts, the financial amounts, making sure that you're putting the good amount, that you're putting the good target result, the good actual, etc. So this is depending on the publisher who is publishing. You are responsible, but also on the type of tool that you're using, and our tool enables you to have a valid and reliable data to count on for data analysis.
Okay, thank you. Another question in the chat, or someone has raised his hand? Okay, I have Osman. Osman, please go next. Raise your question.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Osman. Tell us where you're logging from and then raise your question. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very happy with your work, because I've been joining this program, but really it helped me a lot. But today I'm a bit late. I was expecting the program will start around 10, so I was just behind the schedule. So I just want to ask the kind of software you people are using.
Do you mean the name of the platform?
Yeah, the software. Anyway, yeah, because I'm late. I'm here in Ghana, so I was supposed to join, but my time just I don't know, because I just started around 9. I log in around 9.
Yeah, you will be able. So you will be able to see the recordings again. And I've just put in the chat the link to the platform that I was showing. It's AIDA.tools. So you can just copy the link and start exploring, but the material in the presentation will be sent to you. The recording and the
email. Is it going to be by email?
It's going to be done via Strategia, I believe.
Yes, we will upload the video on our YouTube channel. Check Strategia Netherlands. In fact, the last recording we had has already had about 1,000 views. So check on YouTube. You'll find the video there tomorrow morning, and you can go through the whole program at your own pace. And
okay.
I think if we have a hard copy of the presentation, we'll be happy to share that with you as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll because I'm doing a M&E here in Ghana. I'm a Gambian, but I'm doing M&E. But since I was in my country, I used to follow this Zoom.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the support.
All right.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, Nesre Kadir has his hand raised.
Can't see him. Is someone else the question? Okay, yes, Nasre Kadir. Thank you, Kadir. Please raise your question. Thank you. Mike, unmute Kadir. Nick, please unmute Nestle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to say thank you for your effort to make such kind of presentation, especially International Aid Transparency Initiative, JICA and AIDA. Before today, I have no information about the International Aid Transparency, but what about the reliability of the data that may be obtained from such organization, and about fundraising issues? Whenever we have an idea about to make fundraising, always we are fear of, is it possible or not? Just we will fear about taking the risks. And then how we can check reliability of the information or the data in this organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nasre. Okay, so regarding the reliability of the data, you are following a standard, okay? You are following the IATI standard, the IATI language. So you cannot go all over the place. You have to follow some rules, okay? Those rules are explained on different platforms. We are also supporting organizations in following those rules. So the reliability becomes, reaches 100%. We are supporting organizations to reach 100% in terms of reliability of providing their data. We are not supporting everyone, or other organization uses other platforms, so they are responsible. You are responsible for your own data. Regarding the fundraising, I'm not really sure if I understood your question properly. If you fear the fundraising, if you're afraid of applying, I really didn't get it, but maybe something that I can tell you is on AIDA, as I was showing it to you, you are able to find new funding opportunities. And you are able to spot the donors or stakeholders that are active in your sector, in your country, for the type of project that you're doing. So in this way, AIDA helps you to find new opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Someone else with another question, please raise your hand. Okello Tom, please unmute Okello Tom. Please go on, Okello Tom.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon. It's afternoon here in Uganda.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing? Thanks for the presentation, though I came in a bit late.
Okay.
I wanted to find out if how can we also get the software to be used this side?
Yes.
Sorry, and also like talked about the fundraising and the projects. As like me, I have a lot of projects that I've written, but ideally I failed to get the donors to fund the projects. I don't know how you're going to help and assist, because this is not my first time to have these programs with you. Last time again, I participated, I was with you today again, and maybe you'd share with us also how can one get project funders and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Okello Tom. So I will start with your last question. AIDA is helping you to identify new funding opportunities, is helping you to spread a bit your area of, or maybe the show you a bit of different type of donors that you could reach out. It's not about a methodology of writing the funding application, if you see what I mean. So it's more about increasing your chances in finding new opportunities, so you could, since you are seeing more going on, you would be able to apply to more funding opportunities. If you would like to be part of, to explore a bit on AIDA, you can do that by going on the platform. You have a free part, which is the visualization part, the one that I was showing in the presentation. And if you are receiving also projects, if you are receiving funding that requires also to publish in AIDA, or also you would like to have some charts or data analysis possible, this will be more on the paid part of the platform. But at first, the platform is accessible also for free. I'm putting the link again in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also like to add that we have previously done webinars on fundraising, and we have one based on demand coming up next month in October. We will let you know the date, and we will invite you, where you learn fundraising tips, how to access donors, and so on, and how to manage programs, donor-funded programs. So we will give you that webinar next month. And thank you for asking. We have Shuaibu Dauda. Please unmute Dauda, please, for the next question. Dauda, you can go, please.
Yeah, hello, good morning all.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Here in Nigeria, it's still morning.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I joined you a little bit late.
Yeah.
But my question here is that most of us here in this country working on social accountability and governance, we normally don't have funding. It's all about sacrifice. Also, it's all about volunteerism. So I don't know if there are any other founders that are funding such projects, as in social accountability as well as governance projects. Please, is there anywhere AIDA can link us to them so it can teach us and maybe give us what we can improve on? Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne?
Thank you, Shuyabu, for your question. Sorry.
No, Shuaibu, Maria Shuaibu. Thank you.
So indeed, AIDA could show you where projects are happening depending on the filter that you are selecting, right? If you are looking for a project in Nigeria, you could select the country Nigeria first, and then you will go to the country page. On the country page, what you can see is all the organization partnering with, having active in this country. And you can also filter it using the filter if you are in education sector, for instance. So you could select Nigeria, education, and then it will give you a list of all the organizations active in this country, in this sector, and you could also reach out to them in order to see what they're doing at the moment. And also you could look at what they're doing on the AIDA platform.
Thank you, Maria. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Wahab Gul. Please go next. And I'll just put something on the chat. You have another webinar tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock Central European Time, on database design for monitoring and evaluation. Please log in tomorrow. There's so much to learn. So let's go to Wahab Gul. Please unmute Wahab Gul. Thank you, Wahab. Go next, please.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon from Pakistan. Melanie, this is Wahab Gul. My question is maybe because I just joined the presentation, maybe it seems a little bit stupid because I don't know whatever you have presented in the presentation. But the thing which I am going to ask this software or something, this is only designed for the funding opportunity and financial management, or is there any sort of things which we can utilize during project implementation? My question is that is there any option regarding our activities management, or just it's only designed for the financial management and fundraising activities? Thank you.
Thank you, Wahab. So yes, indeed, at the beginning of the presentation, I was mentioning a bit what open data means and the advantages of using it. Of course, what you see on AIDA is data of organization publishing according to a specific open data standard, according to a language. However, what we were saying at the beginning of the presentation is that open data can be used at the very beginning of the project, at the design phase, for instance, because thanks to this data that you have on the platform, on the AIDA platform, you could already understand the dynamics in a specific country of the specific project, thanks to the available data. And by making this visualization, by looking at this data, you could already make data-driven decision based on what you are looking at, and change the design or change the implementation, what you have previously agreed on, based on who is active in this specific country for this project, for this sector, interact, coordinate with other stakeholders. So it can have an impact using open data from the beginning of your project by doing some research, can already impact the way you're going to implement your project.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Jawula. Please go next. Jawula Abdullahi. Nick, please unmute Jawula.
Hello.
Okay, go next.
Hello.
Please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, please, if I followed the presentation right, it presupposes that AIDA can as well be used for data analysis. I would want to find out the margin of error when it comes to reliability. Indeed, we in this we are into this food production and productivity improvement sector. We rely a lot on data collection and then definitions. So I am interested in knowing the margin of error. Employing AIDA in our data analysis. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. A lot of questions related to reliability. But I understand this is why this is important for you. Thank you for your question. So again, each organization is responsible for their own data, for what they are putting online. So starting from this principle, they are free, let's say, to put the type of amounts or the type of information that they want. Obviously, since they are showing this report using this language to their donors, they cannot write whatever. They have to follow their funding proposal, they have to follow the project details, etc. So, and again, they're following a specific language, the IATI standard. So it is standard as it is in the name. But again, I don't know if you were here when I was showing the live data, some of the organizations are not publishing everything at the same time. So there might be some missing information. This is possible. But in terms of the reliability of the numbers, since what they are publishing is visible to the donor and to the other stakeholders, they are obliged to show the correct numbers. So, but again, the responsibility lays out on the publisher's hands. So AIDA is just, again, a visualization tool, a layer on top of all the available IATI data. So it pulls out the data that is available. Every time, every day, there is a refresh and we add more and more data, but we do not change it. Or if there is a change, it's the organization changing it.
Thank you, Marianne. Anybody else with a question? I think we should finish in the next few minutes. Any other question, please? If there's no other question, I would ask Maike to give closing remarks and Marianne. Then I'll do closing remarks and we finish. And thank you very much for your time. Osman has a question, please. Let's take the last question. Osman, please go next. Osman, you have a question?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I heard you were mentioning something like a bookmark, but it was not clear to me because that was the time I just signed in.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So the bookmark is a new feature on AIDA. It's basically, so I don't know where you joined in the presentation, but when I showed the platform, how it works, you have different filters. So basically a bookmark enables you to have to bookmark a page based on the filters that you have chosen. Again, it can be, you can have selected a period of time. So let's say from 2020 to 2022, a country, a sector. So to not do it every time, you can bookmark the page after you have filtered everything. You can have several bookmarks. You can not only have one, you can have as many as you want. You can bookmark a lot of pages. And so it's just a way for you to come back to it whenever you want, and not research it every time, as you bookmark a page on internet, for instance.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See more questions. James, Shaibu had asked a question. Let's take the last one from James. James Commander, James F. Commander. James, please go next. Nick, please unmute James. His hand is still up. Nick, please unmute James. James, please ask your question.
Okay, can you get me now?
Yes, we can get you.
Okay. I said first, I want to say thank you for the nice presentations. This presentation will help many of us. I'm calling from Liberia. I work for the Community Enhancement Educational Foundation. My question more is on how to become a publisher. What is the criteria to become a publisher? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, James, for your question. So we do assist organizations who would like to start publishing in IATI. I'm putting the email on the chat just for so we can discuss better about this. We have a guideline, and basically it's an administrative step where we need together with the IATI Secretariat, so it's not us, but it's just a higher instance dealing with IATI, providing you with the organization ID. This is how you will become a publisher. And we need to request the creation of this organization ID. So it's not you who created it, who creates it. It's by doing the request, we are registering your organization as a publisher, and you will get as a result an ID. And then you will become a publisher. And I mean, you will be able to publish, sorry, in IATI. And then we can start working towards publishing your data according to the standard.
Thank you. Thank you. We have one last one. This is the very last one. Salihu Yusuf, please go next. Salihu, please ask your question. Nick, please unmute Salihu.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. Hello.
Yes, please continue. We can hear you. Continue.
Please, I want to ask, is there any benefit attached to being a publisher?
That's a good question. Thank you. First, it is easier for you when you start publishing according to the IATI standard. You are able to use more and more your data. So you enter in this virtuous cycle where you are publishing data, you are using it, and you are making more data-driven decisions. This is one. Second, you are fulfilling also your donor requirements as well by publishing, because you are showing them your transparency, accountability against the project that you're implementing. And the third option linked to this one is that you will be more likely to receive more funding in the future based on what you published and the fact that you became a publisher. More donors would be able to see you as a responsible party, accountable and transparent.
Thank you very much.
All right, I think now we come to the end of the session. It's been 2 hours. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite Mike Bloom to say something. And we thank her for the partnership with the Open Data Company and their presentation. So Mike, please give some closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I'm really happy that we had such an interactive discussion. Lots of questions on the chat as well, and people being triggered to know more, to find out more. So please reach out to us. info@aida.tools is the general email. It will be in the presentation as well. And thanks so much, John, for providing us with your platform, Strategia Netherlands, for having this interaction with all of you. And we really hope to hear back and have more discussions, conversations with you. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you, Mike. We're happy to work with you. If you have a French version of the same, we can consider running a similar webinar for our French speaking audiences across the world. Thank you, Marianne. You'd like to say something? Closing remarks? Done a very beautiful presentation.
Thank you very much. Well, I just hope that now you know a bit more about open data, what it means and what are the advantages of this, and that you will start this process of becoming more and more data driven. As we are everyone is becoming more and more, using more and more digital tool. So now it's your turn, and I hope to, receive some emails from you to continue the conversation and strike for becoming more and more data-driven. Thank you for joining, and hopefully see you soon for a French version of this topic.
Thank you, Marianne. And for our audience from across the world, we will have this video uploaded on our YouTube channel. And there are many other videos. There are about 50 other videos of different webinars on monitoring and evaluation, project management, fundraising. You can visit our Strategia channel on YouTube, where you'll be able to access this video and many more from tomorrow morning. And also, we also have courses on monitoring and evaluation, project management, proposal writing and fundraising. If you register from this webinar, we'll give you 20% discount. So you're welcome to do that. And let's keep the monitoring and evaluation knowledge and power in place, because it's monitoring and evaluation that tells us whether the projects we are implementing are making a difference in the lives of our people. So we thank you very much, and let's continue promoting the family. Finally, we have a webinar tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock Central European time, on database design in monitoring and evaluation. So you're welcome to join in tomorrow, and thank you very much. Let's keep in touch. Have a good day. Bye.
Are you interested in building a career in the development and humanitarian sector? Then, Strategia Netherlands is the best option for you. We offer training solutions to the United Nations, governments, NGOs, and other development organizations worldwide. Make your online application now for Diploma in Monitoring and Evaluation, Diploma in Grants Management, Diploma in Conflict Management, Diploma in Disaster Management, Diploma in Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, and many more. The cost for diploma courses is 800 euros, while postgraduate courses cost 1,200 euros. Visit www.strategianetherlands.nl for more information. Did you know that 67% of Africans don't have access to proper housing, 56% have no access to water, and 79% have no access to food? These are the grim statistics of challenges facing Africa today, even as the continent works to develop. This development demands for well-trained personnel. At Capacity Africa Training Institute, we have been leading the charge in changing Africa's fortunes. We are the leading development training company in Africa, offering institutional training solutions and online and distance learning in business, development and humanitarian courses. Over the last 10 years, we have trained over 10,000 staff from NGOs, governments and the United Nations in Africa. Our catalog consists of over 200 career-focused online courses to choose from, and registration for diploma and postgraduate courses is now open for the following courses. Postgraduate Diploma in Monitoring and Evaluation, Postgraduate Diploma in Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, Diploma in Community Development, Postgraduate Diploma in Strategic Planning and Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Grants Management, Diploma in Project Management, Diploma in Nutrition and Dietetics, Diploma in Gender and Development, Diploma in Leadership and Management, Diploma in Finance Management for NGOs, and many more. We have also partnered with the European International University to offer an executive MBA. Once you register, you will have access to our team of experienced trainers and specialist consultants who will guide you on your course whenever you need them. The cost for diploma courses is $800, while postgraduate courses cost $1,200. The cost of a one-year MBA course is €1,500. Visit www.capacityafrica.com for more information. It's no secret that Africa is the next frontier, and you can be the next big investor. At Strategia Business School, we'll offer you a monthly masterclass that will help you build your network among respected entrepreneurs and business leaders and guide you on the opportunities available and how to mitigate any challenges of investing in Africa. Our African Business Club will also introduce you to our team of African business mentors and fellow investors, all tailored to your very own needs. Among the modules covered are doing business in Africa, raising investment and trade finance, importing from Africa and exporting to Africa, agribusiness opportunities in Africa, and understanding the African market. You can also register for online diploma business courses with a flexible learning schedule. Some of our courses include Diploma in Digital Marketing, Diploma in Sales and Marketing, Diploma in Finance Management, and Diploma in Logistics Management. Certificate courses run for 3 months, while diploma courses run for 6 months, and you can register at the beginning of every month. The cost for certificate courses is €500, while diploma courses cost €800. Take action and register today. For more information, contact info@strategiabusiness.com or visit www.strategiabusiness.com.